What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Smackdown review. After, Monday Night Raw last night, Smackdown coming from, what was this, Birmingham, Alabama, and this crowd, I tell you, this crowd tonight, almost worse as last night in Memphis, but kicked off the show with Renee Young having AJ Styles and interviewing him to start this segment since they had chairs in the ring. And she talked about how Daniel Bryan's decision last week of AJ being in a handicap match for the WWE title and asked him if it was fair. As Styles pretty much said, I take pride every time I go into the ring. And, if you knew Daniel Bryan, you shove those words back into his mouth. But, he pretty much says that, the strategy is to hit Kevin and Sami as hard and fast as he can, but the longer the match goes, the chance he may lose the title. And she accused him of pretty much avoiding the question and asked if Daniel Bryan was being unfair. And I don't know, AJ just kind of, I don't know, it's this promo, it was somewhat I would say a little rough, but he pretty much went on to say that Daniel Bryan, he's not exactly what he's thinking. And, he's got to face two challenges at the same time. And, he wasn't going to renounce Daniel Bryan, but, he think this isn't, it was not smart booking decision to put him in this. As he was in, he's lost two non-title matches in a row now, where he says he's only human. And then she pretty much asked him a question about Shane McMahon, and they say he wasn't going to answer that. And, he said he's going to beat both of them, and she kept asking Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon questions. Is he's about to say his house that AJ Styles built line. Kevin and Sami come out as Kevin pretty much said, put some sour grapes out here, and he says the Royal Rumble they will become the first ever WWE champions. As pretty much Sami Zayn kept saying, "Yep, we will become the WWE champion." Yep. And this will be the Kevin Sami show. Yep, Sami and Kevin show. Yep. And as they kept yapping all over the place, Shane McMahon pretty much said that yes, he agreed with AJ Styles, saying that this whole thing is unfair. But we're standing by the general manager's decision for right now. And you know what? Tonight it's gonna be a handicap match, since it's gonna be at the Rumble. In the main event, it will be Kevin and Sami versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Randy Orton. And for some reason, Shane McMahon goes to this kid and whispers in his ear something, which I guess he told him who was going to be the last person in there. But AJ Styles would be in the main event. I don't know why he went over and told that kid that, but I don't know. It was something, I guess, but he did, and shook his hand. And I guess whisper him to AJ Styles be in the match, but I don't know why I said shake his hand. We gave him a high five. After that, Shane McMahon went in the back as Daniel Bryan looked at him, and he said, "You look puzzled, don't you, Shane?" And, he looked disappointed, but he shook his hand and says, "Congratulations on the main event." So, once again, we're still doing this whole Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, which I said before, it's like they kick off the show every week, except now we got Kevin and Sami, which has also been in this feud, and now AJ Styles is in it, because it's almost like he is a pawn in this whole thing for some reason. I don't know why, but he is. This promo itself was just kind of odd in a way throughout everybody. I don't know, AJ was trying to get the words out, but he couldn't at some point. Just trying to say, "Oh, we're going to get him at the Royal Rumble," pretty much. That's pretty much what he went on to say. But this Daniel and Shane thing is just, Becky Lynch went against Ruby Riott, but for some reason, Charlotte and Naomi have to have full entrances as the Riott Squad came out. Becky had the match. She won, and Becky needed to win just to get payback. But it's kind of easy to beat the Riott Squad around here nowadays. That whole little dominance didn't last long, and they're just kind of easy to beat, if you ask me now. Becky won with the disarmer, and they don't look like they know what they're doing with the Riott Squad, and they're just kind of there as you just get more. Like I said before about the Absolution, it's just there to get more women on the roster for this whole women's Royal Rumble thing. So it's kind of just easy to beat them. I thought it was kind of odd when Naomi and Charlotte beat them, and now Becky just beats Riott easily. But Becky Lynch did need the win, though. But they don't know what they're doing with this whole Riott Squad thing. Like, they're just kind of easy to lose. Yeah, they beat the Welcoming Committee last week, but the match sucked and nobody cared. Um, but yeah, they don't know really what to do with Ruby Riot and pretty much the whole Riot squad themselves if they're just gonna keep losing. The Ascension went against the Bludgeon Brothers, which lost in literally a minute. They just killed Victor and didn't beat up Connor after the match, and they tried to make this like they were a big team, but I don't know. Ascension, they jobbers anyway, so Bludgeon Brothers really just straight up murdered him in the ring. Zack Ryder went against Mojo Rawley as Bobby Roode was out there to watch the match. Which I guess they really are trying to do this whole Mojo heel thing, but he's already beaten Zack Ryder, and he beat him again with his running fist. And pretty much he had a stare down with Roode, looking at him. I guess trying to see what was going to happen with Bobby Roode. Pretty much Roode looked on him as they had their stare down, but I don't know, man. Mojo, I guess they really are trying to go with a heel thing with him. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll see if it does with Mojo Rawley. He'll most likely 9 times out of 10 lose to Bobby Roode next week anyway, so I can see that coming. Next was Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable as they wanted justice over this whole tag team title thing. As Gable spoke about accomplishments, and, you work real hard and you want to be rewarded yet and everything, but now it's been stolen away from them. As Benjamin said, Alabama won the national championship last night, but they didn't deserve it, and Georgia got screwed by the referee cause the fans started chanting "roll back." I don't know if it had something to do with Alabama, but they kept chanting "roll back" at Gable and Benjamin. And Gable pretty much says that the referee stole our titles, and the referee is jealous, and he doesn't know what it takes to be a winner. And we didn't lose to the Usos. We were screwed, and we want justice. And they were, and it was one line that Chad Gable said. He said, I don't remember, but I remember him saying it specifically that they were both full of ecstasy. You want to tell us something there, Gable? You may want to take a wellness test if you're on some ecstasy there. I just kind of looked for him. I'm sorry, he's full of ecstasy? I was like, okay. And, he said church and whatever. I don't know where they were going with this. But, I just really kind of looked for a minute and said, full of ecstasy, huh? Okay. And Shelton went on to say, snitches get stitches, so they wanted to deal with this referee until Daniel Bryan walked out. And, still was going on, but, yes, you have hard work and it's taken away from you, showing the cold reality of stuff, but rules change fast, and it's the referee's decision is final. But they want the referee to to reverse this, and pretty much since Brian says you got a problem with management, Gable says, oh, no, we don't have a problem with management, but management goes through us. So referees go through us since they're officials. We are the management. As Gable pretty much saying, we already beaten the Usos, and we should be the champions. And, why don't you just go back to listen to Shane McMahon and everything. As, what did Gable and Benjamin got to do? We got to beat him in 2 times in one night, twice, or like I just said, 2 times. And then Brian told Gable, you're a genius. At the Royal Rumble, it'll be the Usos versus Gable and Benjamin in a 2 out of 3 falls match. So that's gonna happen. I thought the promo was pretty good by Gable and Benjamin. I thought it was a little funny, but I just gotta start looking around. I was like, I'm sorry, you on some ecstasy? Okay, ecstasy. AJ Styles when he talked to Randy Orton, know they're on the same page, and yeah, but Orton says we're on the on the same page and everything. But at the Royal Rumble, when he wins the Royal Rumble, he's coming for that title. As AJ said, good talk. And pretty much Shinsuke Nakamura came in saying not so fast. He looked at the title and kind of like too sweet in a way and tapped on it and just looked at Styles, and he said, he looked at him and Orton says, good talk. I know people still really think it's going to be AJ versus Nakamura at WrestleMania. I don't know why. I just don't see it coming. Just the way things are kind of going on right now and the way they booked Nakamura. And I don't even think Nakamura is going to win the Royal Rumble, to be honest with you, too. And don't get me wrong, that would be a great match. Almost could be better than the Wrestle Kingdom match. But at the point right now, I don't know. Rusev Day, who is still super over, pretty much saying how Rusev Day is in the Royal Rumble, and they went against Breezango, which I still kind of find out. Even I thought Rusev Day would pick up the win, which almost they were pretty much working like faces in a way, and Breezango pretty much won with a roll up. But yeah, it's kind of, I feel like Rusev Day has kind of lost like 2-3 weeks in a row now. It looks like. Hopefully they still capitalize on this, because this is super over right now. But I don't know, no one does be in their booking. They could mess it up one way or another. But it was an okay tag match. I didn't really expect Breezango to get the win. Shane McMahon went to Daniel Bryan, told him his decisions have been irrational, putting Owens and Zayn in, the main event, and giving Gable and Benjamin, they don't deserve the title shot. You give them a second, the 2 out of 3 falls match. So what's wrong with you? You're unstable. And Bryan says, you should know the same thing coming from your gene pool. And he says, pretty much what happens is Shane said we're gonna agree to disagree, and they'll leave it alone, since we're still doing this feud with both of these guys for some reason. If Daniel Bryan comes back to wrestle. But we're still going with this. Orton, AJ, and Nakamura wins Owens and Zayn. Pretty much the match itself was okay, 3-on-2, but Owens and Zayn tried to walk out, but Shane says no count out, so restart the match. And then pretty much before later on, Kevin Owens comes in with a chair and starts beating everybody with it, and then Shane McMahon comes back again and says, restart the match, no disqualification, anything goes. Styles pretty much had a chair and started beating Kevin Owens with it until Sami Zayn got trapped by Nakamura and Orton. Pretty much they kicked the crap out of him, throwing him into a ring post, hitting him with some steps. Orton doing that back drop on the back suplex on the announce table. And then Nakamura hit a Kinshasa, and Orton ended with an RKO. So, kind of ate up a lot of time, but yeah, main event, and they pretty much beat the crap out of Owens and Zayn, getting payback on them. But, most of this thing is just still kind of around Shane and Bryan, and what's Bryan going to do next week, or what's Shane going to do next week now, which Bryan will say something, which is just kind of the same thing of who's questioning who, and who's the face, and who's the heel, and where does this build up to and end. Which some still believe Daniel Bryan could wrestle, but I just really won't believe WWE is going to allow him to do it. Given if he can do it, that's going to be based on his health and would they clear him in that. Because, people are still really saying that he's going to be going to Ring of Honor, but I don't know. So we'll just have to we'll just have to see. But SmackDown was just kind of there in a way, just because. Wasn't bad, but it had its kind of at some points throughout this show. It was like to see Becky back in the ring. I thought the first part of the show was okay. I did like the Gable and Benjamin promo. I thought that was pretty funny throughout some parts, and why they were mad, what happened in the decision last week. Main event was kind of like, whatever, it was good, but it was whatever. Yeah, that's pretty much what they had. I guess I also said Jinder cut a promo in the back, so he was going to become newest champion, but that's pretty much it. So SmackDown was just kind of there, but I don't know. I guess they're in something until the Royal Rumble comes about the next 2 to 3 weeks, because Raw that's a whole different ball game. But SmackDown was just kind of, it had its parts here and there, but it's not much to say from this show, really, to be honest with you. So yeah, but I'm out of here. I will see you guys later, and peace out. Comment, subscribe, check out my reviews, anything goes or whatever, and check out my Wrestle Kingdom 12 review that's up online right now. I am out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out.